But we got the Dodgers, we got the Padres, and they both go to spring training next week because they start the season early in March in South Korea. Mike Schildt, the Padres' new manager, bunch of comments as they get ready to go to Peoria. Fernando Tatis is my right fielder. There will be no switch. In terms of the holes in left field and center field, he's of the opinion great opportunities for Jackson Merrill and Jose Azucar. The relievers, by committee, they will all get the opportunity. Suarez, the left-handers from Korea and Japan, and he says we have 31 days to figure out our pitching rotation. So that was from Mike Schildt. Dave Roberts at the Dodgers Fan Fest. Ohtani will be the opening day DH. He is hitting now. His rehab from the elbow is complete. He's hitting, can't throw. Will be number 3 in the batting order. Dave Roberts kind of put a cloud over the starting pitching. Walker Buehler has recovered from the elbow surgery, second surgery of his career on that arm. He will not be ready to start the season. They're going to slow go with him. I would assume that Buehler's going to spend a month in extended spring training, just continue to build his arm and do all the regimentation. And I would assume maybe by May 1st, Buehler will join the Dodgers, be in the rotation. Dustin May has made progress beginning the throwing program. Target date for him to pitch coming off his elbow surgery July 1st. Clayton Kershaw making progress, his recovery from the lat surgery in his shoulder. It looks like August 1st will be the target date for him. James Paxton, the left-hander they just signed, when healthy, this guy's pitched well, 64-38 record, but he's had health problems 2 years in a row. He's kind of going to become an insurance policy. And the right-hander from Japan, Yamamoto, is going to be an every rotation guy, which means he'll pitch every 4th or 5th day. The Dodgers are not going to do once a week with him. He will be in the rotation. That's a different scenario than the Angels did with Shohei Ohtani. And the Dodgers, about an hour ago, traded our left-handed relief pitcher Caleb Ferguson. He goes to the New York Yankees for a young minor league pitcher. So the Dodgers are maneuvering an awful lot of people around. So I'm sure sometime in the next couple of weeks, you'll show up wearing baseball gear on our podcast. So what do you think about what Mike Schildt had to say about who's playing where in the outfield, and what Mike Schildt had to say about the starting rotation and bullpen by committee, and your reaction to all things Dodger Blue?
Well, I think the Padres have their, what do they call it? The talking statements, they've been passed down from Eric Grupner, that, they're not going to say we're going to win it all. They're not going to say we're going to have all-stars at every position. Now they're saying it's about the kids. And yeah, that kind of makes sense, especially if you're cutting back the payroll. Some Padre fans are kind of saying, they're sort of rationalizing it. And they're saying, well, that's the way it was always meant to be, right? We were going to have Tatis and Machado and Bogarts, and they were going to be complemented by these up-and-coming youngsters. But it still feels like, I don't know, is this a bait and switch, the way that they're selling the season tickets, but we're going to have a couple of minor leaguers to complement Tatis in the outfield? I don't know. I mean, I'm as a fan, I'm excited to see the new talent, but I'm not sure if I have confidence in this because the Padres still need more players.
Well, I think they do. Last I checked, do they have credibility in left field and center field?
No,
not yet.
No.
Do they have a first baseman true DH? Not that I know of right now. No, the rest of the roster is okay. And I know there is a segment on social media that, hey, everything's fine. Well, if Azucar's hitting 206 in June and Merrill's not ready, then what do you got? You got problems. Mm-hmm. And by the way, who's your first baseman and your DH? So I don't think it's a complete roster. I think it's a good team in unfortunately, a very hard division because of what the Dodgers have done. And I still maintain this. I wrote columns about it this past week on my website. I still maintain you have huge question marks in that starting rotation. I mean, you do have Darvish and you have Musgrove, and you hope that they are completely healthy from the elbow and the capsule issues they both had. And everybody's talked glowingly about Michael King. He's going to be their number 3 starter, came from the Yankees. I don't know about the 4th and 5th starters, the guys who were thrown into the Yankee deal. At the end of the day, those guys had high ERAs, and they were in the Yankees. I had a retired player came to me this weekend and said, Yankees don't give away talent. If those guys were really good, they'd still be in New York.
Yeah.
So that's a big issue there with the two pitchers, Brito and Valdez. And then once you get beyond that, they don't have any depth at all. And they have any physical problems, I think they got all kinds of trouble in the rotation. Bullpen is really deep. So I think you were the one that made the absurd comment that's probably true. Bullpen day. Every fifth day will be a bullpen day.
I think it might turn into that.
So that's where we are there. And in terms of the Dodgers situation, I'm a little surprised with this injury update from Dave Roberts that Buehler's not ready opening day. Dustin May will be behind him before he gets there. And then Kershaw, now they're talking Kershaw August 1st. It does take time to rehab from capsule surgery. So Dodgers pitching, I'm not going to say it's suspect because they do have an awful lot of really good young arms still there. They made all those offseason changes and they only removed one starting pitcher, Ryan Pepio.
Yeah.
So Dodgers will be good in the lineup. Wow. That lineup
Did you see the quote from, what was it, Mookie Betts saying, "Oh, we're going to have a target on our back. Every time people play the Dodgers, it's going to be their World Series."
It's probably true.
But they always choke in the playoffs, and they haven't won a real World Series since 1988, Kirk Gibson and that whole squad. So, I mean, come on, Mookie.
Okay. Hey, you're a baseball fan. Agree or disagree with me about this Padre pitching thing? And John's down on the Dodgers because the Dodgers don't win the World Series very often, considering all the money they've spent. Join us, you Dodger or Padre fan. Join us, Fans Forum. We go from